YouTube. So today I'm deep in the woods at a remote location. No, I'm just kidding, I'm at Penhorn Lake in Dartmouth. Today we're gonna do a little bit of fishing, some foraging, and basically today the name of the game is we wanna find some food. And we're gonna try and source some food today, you know, see what we can find. Actually right next to me, here's one here. Look at that, it's a little serviceberry tree here. Not a very big one. So I have a few hours today to do this, so I figured we'd start off with trying to forage some plants, you know, look around a little, see what we have. I'm mostly going to be trying to identify some plants. I don't need to pick too much, you know, I have food at home, but I did want to come out, pick something, you know, get something to eat, and just see what we can find, basically. I've been trying to practice this a lot because it's a skill I really want to work on, learning how to identify edible plants as well as medicinal plants. So yeah, we're just going to do a little practice today. I'll take you guys along with me. So yeah, first we're going to try foraging for plants, see what we can find, and then afterwards then I'll try to catch a fish for dinner. I didn't bring like a cooler or any ice to put the fish on, so I don't want to catch it until I'm basically ready to go, because you know, you don't want it to spoil. It's midsummer right now and this heat's it's pretty warm. So I'm going to pick a few of these berries now. Hopefully we can find some more too. I use an app on my phone to help myself learn this stuff. It's called Picture This. So what I'll do is I'll just go around, look at all the different plants, you know, and I'll see ones that I don't know what they are, so I'll take a picture of them with the app, and the app's pretty good at recognizing what they are. Usually I'll take a few pictures of it just to make sure that it's sure that that's what it is, right? And then I'll Google it, of course. I'll do my research, I'll Google it, I'll see if it's edible, I'll see if there's any precautions, you know, like some plants will be edible, but a lot of people might have severe allergies to it, so you know, certain things you want to be careful of. You want to know whether something has to be cooked or not before you can eat it, right? All that stuff. So yeah, I just use a Picture This app. I'll take a picture of basically everything that's around me, and you know, a lot of the time I'll just look at something and say, hey, that looks like something I could eat, and I'll just take a picture. Sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm not. But on that note, I looked right under this serviceberry tree, and there's a huckleberry bush right there. Look at that. They're not ripe right now, and I'm not sure what time they ripen. I'll have to look that up. But yeah, I've never eaten huckleberries before. I'll have to remember these are here. Maybe come back when they're ripe. Look at this. We got blueberries. Isn't that beautiful? That's what we like to see. Wild Nova Scotia blueberries, some of the best berries out there. So now here we got a spruce tree. You can make tea. You can make a tea out of the needles from this. I think it's best to use the green tips. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's high in vitamin C. If you put a little honey in it, it's actually pretty good tasting. It doesn't taste bad at all. Pretty sure you can even make gum out of the sap, but I don't know, I've never tried it. Might be worth trying sometime. Apparently this plant is called the Canada Mayflower. And from what I read online just briefly, they are edible. Apparently the whole plant is edible. But when eating the berries, I think you want to wait until they're fully ripe. But make sure you do your own research, because I only just Googled them a minute ago, so you know, stuff here. This is pickerel weed, and this stuff is edible. I guess the leaves, you want to cook them. They're what you'd consider like a pot herb. So like you'd want to cook them like you would kale or spinach or Swiss chard, you know, stuff like that, right? And it can be used as a type of green. Apparently the seeds are edible raw. It doesn't look like the seeds are ready. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what it's supposed to look like. I'll leave that bee alone there. Looks like bees really like these. Anyways, yeah. So, yeah, maybe we'll try harvesting. Harvest a little leaf from a couple of them. Try and cook that up later. I wonder if they're called pickerel weed because they're named after the fish, the pickerel, because those guys would definitely like hiding in this stuff, that's for sure. So it should be obvious, but when you're out foraging, only take what you need, you know, only take what you're gonna eat, and a good way to make sure you're not over harvesting any plants is if you have to pick the, you know, unless you're just picking the berries, because that's not harmful to the plant at all, as long as you're careful with it. But if you need to harvest leaves or entire plants, a good way to make sure you're not over harvesting is only pick every third plant that you find. So if you find, let's say for example, you come across some, like a bed of wild artichokes or something, or maybe they're dispersed through a small area. You know, you don't want to take all of them because then when you need them later, they won't be there. So a good thing to do is just leave 2, pick 1. Come across 3 more, leave 2 of them and pick 1, you know. And obviously if you can't find 3 of them, there's not enough for you to harvest. All right, just leave them so there'll be more later. So, you know, it's just an easy rule to follow. Alright, so right here we have some common plantain. Pretty easy to recognize by the leaves, although I find they look similar to a couple other ones. So this is another thing you can identify them by. I imagine that's where they make their seeds. Kind of looks like a corn on the cob. Cob of corn. Easy to identify. They're edible. They can also be used as wound dressing, so you kind of like mash it up and then spread it on a cut or something like that. Right? There's fish in there. Then we got clover here. It's another edible plant. These ones are basically in the bean family. Yeah, pretty cool plants. They are actually a source of protein. Think of like 4-leaf clover, but you know, you're actually only supposed to have 3 leaves. Everybody knows what a 4-leaf clover looks like, so you should know what a 3-leaf one looks like too, right? So they're one of the few leafy greens that actually have good protein in it that you can find out in the wild here. A few ones I know of. There's a better looking clover. Get a better look at it. Yeah, I used to love eating these as a kid. Sounds like we're making this guy upset, so we're gonna move down. I'm not sure if I'll be able to reach any of them I don't really want to go for a swim right now. There's some cattails over there. I'm trying to get. This one looks like wild carrot, but I'm pretty sure they have a pretty toxic look-alike, so I don't take my chances with this one usually. Maybe I'll do a little more research on them and get more comfortable with them, but for now I just don't touch them. This is another small little service berry tree. Doesn't look like there's much on it. So right behind me here, this stuff's called goldenrod. This stuff's also edible. I haven't tried it yet. Do your research on it first. Alright, here we got another service berry tree with way more berries on it. This one looks promising. Yeah, there's service berries really everywhere. To start fishing. Gonna try and catch a trout, hopefully. Perch. Guy was biting as soon as I cast it in there. A little smallmouth bass, look at that. Jesus. And he landed on grass. Best one yet today. Let it go. We got that jump on camera, that was pretty cool. I'm gonna move on now. That spot was pretty weedy. It's starting to get on my nerves. Some more service berries. Let's try this spot here. Alright, so that's it for today. Hope you guys learned something. See you guys in the next one.